Opinion disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed by Just Our Opinion podcast are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of any of our sponsors. Any content provided by our guest or authors are of their opinion and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, anyone, or anything.
See, funny thing about love is you never really know when it's coming, but you better believe you'll know when it's there. True story. I must have been searching, though I wasn't looking for much. Checking out the scene, wasn't trying to get my numbers up. You know I keep it cool. I prefer to stay in the cut. Don't want no attention on me when I'm trying to shake the blues up off me. But then I saw your face, it caused my heart to race. Girl, you're looking like $1,000,000. Something about the way you strut your stuff. Oh, girl, you're fine as you wanna. What I'm supposed to do? Something told me got time to lose. Go ahead and bust a move. Funny thing about love, when it comes and goes, you never know. So you gotta keep your heart exposed, and you can be sure there's no cause and no cure. And if it wants you, oh, it'll come and find you. Fall back just a little. Don't wanna lead you on. Don't wanna push a feeling and make the feeling go. You see, I got your number, but still I ain't used the phone. No, I let it breathe for a minute, baby. Next thing I know, you call. Damn. One thing I know about love, you never know when it's coming, but you sure know it when it does. Yeah. One thing I know about love, you might get what you ask for, so you better be sure it's what you want. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Funny thing about love, when it comes and goes, you never know. So you gotta keep your heart exposed, and you can be sure there's no cause and no cure. And when it wants you, oh, it'll come and find you. Yeah. One thing I know about love, you never know when it's coming, but you sure know it when it does. Yeah. One thing I know about love, you might get what you ask for, so you better be sure.
Oh, they can hear us now. They couldn't hear us before.
Okay.
My bad.
What it is, what up,
Hello,
though?
people.
Oh, they hear us.
All right, we got about 30 seconds and we going live.
Mm-hmm. We'll be live out there. We was singing a song for y'all.
We was singing for y'all. Y'all couldn't hear us though.
No. Mm-mm.
That thing about love.
One thing for sure.
That's all I know.
It drives you crazy and takes all your dough.
Do-do-do-do.
Think about love. Oh, I guess we about to be live.
What it is.
Hey.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to Just Our Opinion with Robin.
Mike.
And Ty.
And man, we gonna bring it to y'all again this week. We gonna run it back since we had some technical difficulties last week.
Yes.
Yep.
So we talking about preferences.
Yes.
You forgot the title for a second.
Like a hot second though.
Right.
I like what I like. We gonna discuss them preferences today, man. We gonna get into that thing. But wait a minute. First of all, y'all see the table today. So y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what week it is. We have been waiting on this. I'm so excited. So I'm gonna go through and just show y'all some of the liquors on the table once we get started today. But y'all know JOO is all black everything. So we gonna shout out some of the brands that we got sitting at the table today. Yes. Shout out to Lazar because he doing press conferences and everything all week. So shout out to L Boogie, man. I know you out there watching. I know you hanging with your team, man. We can't wait to come party with you guys on Friday. So I'm gonna showcase some of the brands at the table once we get started. But fellas, y'all know what time it is.
Yep.
Let's go.
Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win.
I just came here to win.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all know ain't nobody doing it like JOO. Y'all know what it is. So listen, y'all know we got the Taste of Black Spirits event coming up this weekend, right?
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. So Friday, we got the Taste of Black Spirits event going on at the Garden Theater. That's Friday, September the 30th from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. Man, it's going to be all black everything. Mm-hmm. Get fly. Put your black on. We're going to have the brands, the spirits, the wines, the liquors, the regular drinks. We got energy drinks. I know Centron gonna be in the building. We got all kind of just all black excellence that's gonna be in the building. So I want to go over some of the brands that y'all can expect to see at the Taste of Black Spirits event. Yep. Y'all know one of the things that we love about our job is we get to meet the brands and we get to meet the owners of the brands. We get to hear a little bit of their story. So the first one I got at the table, I gotta shout this one out first because it's one of my personal favorites. Right. We got the LS Cream Liqueur at the table.
Look at that.
That LS Cream Liqueur. Man, listen. I want to see them just so I can get a couple more bottles from my bar. Like, like real talk. I need to see them just so I can get a couple more bottles at my bar. But if you are a cream liqueur person, you like putting cream liqueur in your coffee, man, that LS is just, it cannot be beat. Then we got the FKNG for Kings Not Gods vodka at the table, man. First of all, just smooth, just extremely smooth vodka. They were in the building the last Taste of Black Spirits event, so I know they'll be here this week. So I'm excited about that. We got none other than Duke and Dame. I know, you know what? Actually, I heard Duke and Dame, one of the owners of Duke and Dame, was doing bottle signings today. Good look for that. So I know they'll be in the building this weekend, this Friday.
How do you sign a bottle?
With a Sharpie, sir.
A permanent marker.
And it works?
Yes. Then we got Tusk in the building. Oh, yeah. That's that hemp seed flavored vodka. Yeah. So this that smooth out vodka. You know what I'm saying? When I tasted the Tusk, I was really excited about that because it was a real smooth, type of bottle. I was really digging that. Yeah, for sure. Then we got the 10-to-1. The 10-to-1 is a Caribbean dark rum. So 10-to-1 will be in the building. Y'all probably know 10-to-1 because I believe Sierra is one of the ambassadors for 10-to-1. But 10-to-1 is a Caribbean dark rum. They will be in the building this week. So shout out to 10-to-1.
That's what we was drinking last week.
Yes,
sir. We couldn't get right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Then, of course, we got Island John.
Island John.
Listen, hands down, one of the best vodkas I've ever tasted. Island John, I believe they have 3 flavors of the Island John. We have the mango peach at the table today, but Island John gonna be in the building. From what I read the other day on the Taste of Black Spirits page, Island John is releasing in Michigan soon. So I'm really excited about Island John being released in Michigan. Then we have the Den of Thieves at the table, of course. Shout out to Jason. Den of Thieves. What can I say about Den of Thieves other than, first of all, the ginger vanilla is my favorite flavor, hands down. But Den of Thieves, created by Jason Armstrong out of New York. Basically, one of their slogans is "There was once honor amongst men, and we're bringing that back." So it's a gentleman's drink. There's 4 flavors, I believe, of the Den of Thieves. So of course, Den of Thieves will be in the building.
Definitely.
Then we got Stock the Bar. Stock the Bar, straight out of Michigan.
Yeah.
Couple, we met them at the last Taste of Black Spirits event. Really nice couple. This idea kind of started in their basement, from what they told us at the last event. It was kind of an idea that started in their basement and just evolved into this just amazing brand. I've seen it in Myers around the state and things like that. So straight out of Michigan, made in Michigan. So shout out to Stock the Bar.
Yep.
And then this one here, this is always such a pretty. Every time I look at this bottle, it's just pretty. It's the pear flavored vodka, the Maru.
That's what that is.
It's pear flavored vodka, really smooth vodka. First of all, I love the bottle because it looks like a mermaid, so it's just always been really cute to me. So I digs the bottle. But they will be in the building this Friday too. So this is just kind of a sample of what you guys can expect at the Taste of Black Spirits event this coming weekend. So make sure y'all in the building. Make sure y'all hit Eventbrite to get your tickets. Make sure y'all following Taste of Black Spirits and Black Spirits Legacy on all social media. Y'all can get your tickets straight there's links in the bios for you guys to go to the Eventbrite and get your ticket. That's this coming Friday, September the 30th from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. So make sure y'all in the building for that.
Absolutely. And guess who else gonna be there?
Who else gonna be there?
The award-winning
Just Our Opinion podcast. Yes, sir.
With Ty and them.
Oh, here we go. You definitely getting your pay out. He ain't getting in the building.
Ain't nobody here to see you, Otis.
Tying them.
Tying them? His name ain't even first on the marquee, and he talking about tying them. It's Just Our Opinion with Robin and them other dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop playing.
I changed it.
We're going to have a whole new intro when we get to the Black Spirits event.
Flip it completely over. So look, make sure y'all let the Taste the Black Spirits event. I always get so excited. This event is twice a year, and I get so excited about this event because the amount of Black excellence that's in the building and in the room during this event is just unmatched. It's just absolutely amazing. Black Spirits Legacy has done something that is just kind of unheard of. Just bringing awareness to Black-owned brands and just our people out here doing the thing. Y'all out here buying brands from people that, don't care nothing about you. And you got our people out here with better tasting stuff too. Yeah, definitely. I've changed out so many drinks in my bar for Black-owned brands at this point. Like, I don't need that. I got, Duke and Dame. Well, what I need your caramel flavored liquor for when I got Duke and Dame and it's the best. What I need your cream liqueur for when I got LS and it's the best. What I need your little vodka for when I got FKNG, like it's just so many things that I've switched out at this point on my bar for those Black-owned brands.
You have to be intentional about.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Right. And JOO is definitely intentional about where we spend our money and brands we promote and things like that. So JOO is all Black everything. Not to mention JOO rolls with L Boogie and L Boogie roll with JOO. So anything that man put his hands on, we rolling with him. That's just what it is. All right, so. Now that we got the business out the way and we're going to expect to see everybody watching on Friday because we're going to have a great time and we're going to get some good partying in. And if y'all come hang out at the table with us, y'all can drink with us. Y'all know what it is. So make sure y'all come check us out. But before we get started on the show tonight, y'all know what time it is. Y'all might as well get them buttons ready, get the clicking, get ready to share that page because we got another one from Off the Dome Records. Let's get it.
Ready? We getting hyped today, y'all. Here we go. I want everybody to get your phones out, get your tablets out, On the count of 3, what we gonna tell them to do? Go ahead, share that page.
Go ahead and share that page.
Come on.
Go ahead and share that page. Go ahead and share that page. Go ahead and share that page. Go ahead and share that page.
Now the ladies.
Go ahead and share that page. Go ahead and share that page.
Now you can share it in the east, you can share it in the west. It's JOO and we the best. Coming down, and you know how we do. It's the JOO and we that crew. So share the page on the 1 and the 2s. Everybody know how we come through. It's the Black Spirit Friday night. Everybody in the building get hot, get hot.
Share that page. Go ahead and share that page.
All the people.
Go ahead and share that page. Go ahead and share that page.
Just the grannies.
Go ahead and share that page. Go ahead and share that page.
Not the babies.
Go ahead and share that page. Go ahead and share that page.
Share the page.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Off the dome.
Off the
No
dome.
rehearsal.
No rehearsal. Y'all know how we do.
How we do it.
Absolutely.
Felt kind of good.
That was hype. That was hype. I'm digging it. Right. So, like I said, we're talking about preferences. We're going to hop back into the conversation of preferences since we didn't really get to dig into that thing last week. So we just going to start fresh. We're going to hop into that conversation. And first of all, let's break down that definition of preference. Let's break down, is it a preference or is it a bias? Like, and at what point does your preference become a bias?
Okay, so let's give them the definition so we can. Preference, like, to me is more like just what it says. This is what I prefer. I'm not hating on anything else. This is just what I like. I rather have ice cream than cookies, just for example.
Right.
So
or chocolate ice cream versus vanilla.
Right. That's
Right.
just the
I
preference.
prefer. Right.
But to me, a bias is like, you know what? There's no other ice cream like chocolate ice cream, so all the ice creams suck.
Right.
You know what? And I think so. Right there. I think when it becomes a bias is when you go, I prefer vanilla ice cream, and because I prefer vanilla ice cream, to heck with your chocolate. To heck with your butter pecan. Right. Superman. Oh, you nasty for liking Superman ice cream. Like when your preference becomes disrespect to anything that does not fit in your box, is when it becomes a bias to me.
Right. So as far as relationships go, am I wrong for having a preference, or is it just like that everybody's gonna have that, but as long as you're not hating on anything else, you're fine? Or is it just like, hey, I have a certain type and that's it?
You're not wrong for having your preference. Everyone has a preference. I mean, as long as that preference don't put down other people's preferences, or, you know, your preference becomes superior to everybody else, you're more than welcome to having your preference. That's what you like, then so be it. My only issue is when people feel as though what they like is their preferences, but they don't allow other people to have preferences, or look down because somebody preferences is not what you feel that they should be. Like, for instance, you can have whatever preference you want, but if somebody say, I'm not into big girls, then now I'm a villain. Now I'm fat shaming.
Right.
Or whatever.
Right.
Where it's not the case. I'm just not interested.
That's
in
not what
big
that's not what I'm
girls.
attracted to.
Right.
So when did that become shallow? Like, how do you put, okay, you're thinking shallow.
Well, here's the thing. I think on a certain level, most preferences are shallow. Right? Like,
Yep.
on a level,
Yep.
On certain levels, most preferences are shallow. And it's simply because it's just what we've become accustomed to, what we've decided that we're attracted to. And, you know, a lot of preferences are not, they're surface preferences, right?
Right.
You know, you very rarely hear somebody say, well, you know, I prefer someone with a strong intellect and someone that can have deep conversation. And, you know, because unfortunately, one of the things that really grinds my gears is when you hear people, you know, they say stuff like, no, you know, I want a man for his mind. Well, his mind ain't the first thing that you see.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So
like,
you gotta be real.
like
about
let's
that.
be very honest with you. When you see that dude from across the room, it was not his brain throbbing in his head that attracted you.
Right.
Like, you did not see his neurons going through, and you was like, oh, he got a real sexy skeletal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or you wasn't in that boy like, oh, he carrying around a picture of his MRI and it's showing real good brain activity. Like, that is so sexy to me. So it's real. It's kind of BS when somebody be like, oh, you supposed to be attracted to the inner. Like, yeah, that's fine, but that's not the first thing that you encounter.
Right. And I agree with you, and that's why I guess it's a catch-22, but I hate it when women put down guys for what they are attracted to. So, guys, we are visual. We are absolutely visual creatures. So, if a nice body walks in with a cute face, hair down to her ankles, just looking real good, walk in, and we all googly-eyed over her, some chick will get upset that, oh, that's what you like? She all half dressed, ain't looking good. And then they will go right behind her and then put the thirst pictures on Instagram and then call other folks thirsty.
I mean, you gotta understand, dog. Like for real. Like they're tired of the because I'm guilty of it, but they're tired of us just. They walk in the room and it's just like all eyes on me. We saying the stupidest stuff.
So
we basically undressing them with our eyes. So they feeling uncomfortable.
Get over it. Don't go to the club. I mean, realistically, you go to the club with your girls dressing super hot. You have that right to look as nice as you want to. But I also have a right to look. I can't put my hands on you. I shouldn't be calling you all kinds of names.
Cat calling.
But I got a right to look. And damn it, I got a right to be like, you know. Yes, you do. I got freedom of speech.
Let me say this.
So I can say, damn.
But that's what it be, though.
It's freedom of speech. If you don't want me saying damn, then don't come looking all damaged.
Did you say?
Yes.
Hashtag damaged. I mean, but that's
how
your preference.
How you gonna control somebody else's speech and how they feel about something just because you don't want to get hit on that night? If you really don't want to get hit on and you don't want any attention, stay at home. Ain't nobody giving you no attention at home.
I get attention at home.
Ain't nobody giving you attention at home.
I get attention at home. My husband running around here feeling on my booty all the time. And I be like, ugh, would you stop feeling on my booty all the time?
Feeling on your booty.
And then when we stop feeling on it,
then I'm like, whose booty you feeling on?
Right.
You ain't felt on my booty in weeks. You want to know, but in all honesty, one of the things that bothers me is I don't like it, and this is a woman thing, and I'm a blame it on the women. I don't like it when a guy's preferences is something that is either not a normal guy's preference or you don't feel like should be his preference. So now you're hating on his preference, because there are guys whose preferences are BBWs. Mm-hmm. There are guys whose preferences, are different than the traditional or regular or whatever you want to call it guy's preference. And then when women see a guy whose preference is that beautiful, big bone woman or that beautiful bigger girl, and they like, ew, that's what you like. Mm-hmm. Oh, you like them big. Yeah. And I'm like, why you hating on this man's preference? Like, if his preference is not, you know what I'm saying, the video girl, the Cyndi Lauper honey that just want to have fun, if that's not his preference, if his preference is the girl with the glasses and the natural hair and, that's dressing, dressed down, if that's his preference, then that's his preference. If his preference is the chick at the bar, they look like she just got off work and all she was trying to do was go have a drink and she ain't out here trying to impress nobody. If that's his preference, then let that be that man's preference. The thing that I don't like about preferences is when they turn into bias, or when you start using a preference to either be arrogant or be a jerk about a situation.
Right.
Like if you're a black guy and your preference is white women, perfectly fine. But the moment you start
Downing black women.
then that's where
that's what we got a problem at. And
but he also should feel. He also shouldn't get. Here's another guy with a white woman. Get a little money, got a white woman. That could be what he grew up around and what his preference is.
So, okay, this has been happening a lot on social media. It's been a lot of guys on social media whose preference are white women, and that's fine. If that's your preference, it is what it is. Nobody really cares. But they get on, and instead of just that being your preference, that you just prefer, you know, to they got to down black women, you know, and that's why I don't mess with, that's why I only mess with white girls, because black women this and black women that. And okay, what about the black vagina you slid out of at birth, sir? Because you a half past midnight out here. So I know for 100% fact that you slid directly out of an African-American vagina, sir. Right. So let's stop acting like why do you feel the need to disrespect another type of woman because that's not your preference? Right. And we don't even have to talk about race. Why do you feel the need to disrespect big girls if you just like smaller girls? Right. Why do you feel the need to disrespect small girls if you like big girls? Why do you feel the need to disrespect white women if you like black girls? Why do you feel like, you know what I'm saying? And we can take this much further than just black and white. This can go a number of ways. My question is, if that's truly just your preference, why do you feel the need to disrespect something that just because it's not your preference?
I think a lot of times what happens is they're trying to justify their preference, and the only way they can, in their minds, justify it is not to just say, hey, intelligently, like, hey, I just like what I like, leave it at that. They have to go so far to prove the reason why this is their preference. You
know what? I'm going to take that a step further, though. Like, I don't necessarily think it's trying to justify your preference. I think it's trying to hide your insecurities in your preference.
That could be so, too.
I actually think it's a little of both. I don't think it's so much of hide your securities, just hide your securities or justify your preference. I think they're trying to convince other people that it should be their preference as well.
Right.
That's 3 ways. Right. And all 3 ways to me
are wrong. Absolutely. And let me tell you something that's interesting about preferences, though. One of the things that's interesting about preferences is they change.
Yeah.
They change with stages of your life.
Yeah, because I used to be a breast man, and then I moved over to butt and legs.
It's always one.
And then lips. Whose lips?
That's why you out of focus, sir.
So my point is, what I'm saying is, like, okay, I'll use me for example. My husband, fine. Anybody that know my husband know that man is fine on a special type of level of fine. I'm talking blue-eyed, baby hair, nice body. My husband's fine. But if you'd have asked me 15 years ago, my husband was not my type. He was not my preference. He was not the type of guy that I dated. And
15 years ago, Albie sure was in. Stop. You wanted you a Wesley Snipes when Albie
was in. No. I've never really been into the brown skin dude. Like, that's never really been my
Ain't nobody been into brown skin dudes. We have it worse than everybody. It's either want you a chocolate man or a light skinned pretty boy. Us brown skin guys.
So no. So wait a minute. Then let me fix that then, because it's the chocolate dude that I was never into. I can do brown skin and I can do yellow. Me and chocolate never worked well together. Right. But my point is, my husband was not my type, 20 years ago. Right. So but my type evolved. And one of the ways my preferences and my types evolved was I started realizing that my type wasn't no good for me. Like, real talk. I got to a point in my life where I realized, Robin, you are literally dating the same guy over and over again. And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Right. So I literally had to shift my preferences to be happy. And it took something, and I had to do it. Could nobody do it for me? Could nobody come to me and say, Robin, this type of dude ain't good for you. You keep dating the same dude over and over again. Because that was what I thought was my preference and what I thought I liked. But until I expanded my preferences and opened my dating range up a little wider, I was able to finally find that husband and have those kids and this happy marriage and, you know what I'm saying, the picket fence and, you know, the American dream of a family. And I had to shift my preferences before I could do that. Now, like I said, I was never one for the what people would call facially challenged dude. I didn't I didn't do that. Like, so I still had a certain preference and a certain standard of cute that I wasn't going below. And it was only because my mama used to tell me all the time, be careful who you sleep with, you mess around and have babies by them. You know what I'm saying? So you know, my mama instilled that in me. So I had to be very careful. That was one of my biggest fears. Yeah, but because I want to have gremlins running around. So there was a standard. You can lead a woman, but you stuck with the kids. Exactly. So there was a standard. But my point is, I had to shift my preferences a little bit to be able to be happy.
For me, it's always, I've always had a type, and everybody knows it. Like, it's the eyes, anywhere from brown skin to dark skin, and the light. Not no hate, no shade. It's just
it wasn't your preference.
It wasn't my preference. It wasn't. It wasn't for you. Yeah, it wasn't for me. And I've never. I went to prom with one light-skinned woman, and that was it for me. It was done. I was done after that. But that's just always been what I've been attracted to. And I do photography too, but it's like that's what I key in on. Like, it's a certain look. And it's just like people be like, oh, you just don't like, you won't even give it a chance, you won't even get a try. I love my sisters. Like,
you want them cocoa butter smelling.
Right. Listen, and if they got locks, midnight. Listen, if they got locks, oh, it's a wrap.
And for me, you know, I've never really had a dark, light, white kind of preference. I like girly girls. I don't care what you are, dark, light, white, Asian, Puerto Rican. It don't matter. If you're a girly girl, you for me. That's my thing.
Okay, girly. I've heard you say that. What's girly girl? Like,
everybody know I want a girl. I want a feminine woman, lady. I don't want a tomboy. I don't want a baby thug.
Sometimes they just need a little grit, though. Just a little.
You can have a little grit and still be a woman. You still can be a girl.
So wait a minute. Are you saying that a woman that's more of a tomboy, more athletic, things like that? I understand that's not your thing, but you said something that's a little specific, though. You said that you could and still be a woman. Yes. That was the statement you made. And your statement is biased now. Your statement,
you saying you can't be thuggish and still be a woman?
No. That was what you said. Right. Because your statement your statement was, well, you can still be a woman. So wait a minute, are you saying because she's not a girly girl and because she got a little hood in her and, you know, because she, you know, a little rough and tough that she's not a woman? Like, are you questioning her womanhood now because she's not this girly girl that you want? Because now your preference has become a bias.
You're just putting words in my mouth.
No, I'm saying that your preference may quite possibly be biased.
I'm saying
because I slapped the hell out of you and I bet you money that I can roll with any of the women out here.
No, my thing is I'm attracted to girly girls. I'm not attracted to
athleticism.
Well, just because you athletic don't mean you're not a girly girl. I mean, you can be athletic and still be a girly girl. I'm just not attracted to women who have male traits.
What does that even mean?
If you acting like a man, you ain't for me.
What does acting like a man mean, though,
The same thing as acting like a woman. You just like you ain't into dudes that act like women. I ain't into chicks that act like men.
I said put the bag down.
Right. You don't want that. I don't want that.
Hey, I said take this trash out. Yeah,
no, okay. So what I'm trying to figure out is the transition between preference and bias. Okay. I'm trying to see if there's a way where we can definitively say this has become a bias at this point. Because I'm gonna tell you a bias that I have at this point in my life. And it started right before I met my husband. Right before I met my husband, it was death to the dark skin and brown skin guy. Forget it. I wasn't dating a dark skin, brown skin guy. Like it.
Yeah, that's a bias.
That's a bias, and it was
you
a
put
bias.
Your negative experiences of dark skin guys that you chose on all dark skin
So
guys.
I literally came to a point where I was like, you know what? I don't want anything to do with, like, I used to. Okay. And I can say this because I'm married, and I don't want nobody to take any offense to this, but the term I used to say was I wasn't putting nothing chocolate in my mouth.
Okay.
And the truth of the matter is, I meant that all the way around. I don't eat chocolate ice cream. I don't eat chocolate. Like, people look at me like I'm crazy. Like, you a woman and you don't eat chocolate? I don't eat it. I don't eat chocolate ice cream. I don't eat chocolate cake. I don't eat regular chocolate. I don't eat nothing like that. So it was I was like that with men too. And if you ever met my husband, again, my husband is very light-skinned, blue-eyed. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know whether my preference became a bias at some point. I have no idea. So I'm really, for myself, trying to figure out whether I crossed that line at some point.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say this.
Why he was calling me biased?
I'm gonna say this. I think
against us brown chocolate brothers.
I think overall these preferences and biases have cultivated like a certain look that now both men and women feel like they have to live up to.
Oh, absolutely.
Because if you look at how social media is, everybody looks the same for the most part.
Yep.
The dudes we all dressing the same. The women are all looking the same. Everything is the same.
Wait a minute, Mike. I'm sorry. We got a comment from Jason, and it says, "My dark skinned brothers, we boycotting. I done got JOL boycotted by the chocolate brothers. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
He gonna start calling us light lovers."
But no, I just think that now, if you look at the way people are trying to represent themselves now, it's like, I gotta have this certain type of hairstyle, this certain type of, like, if one person does it, like even the dudes now, like haircuts, hairstyles, that's all trendy stuff. It's like, you have to look like this or you're not hot.
So you know what's funny? Me and my husband have 2 children, right? My kids are light skinned, and my daughter, more specifically, my daughter is light brown eyes, blonde hair, light skin, right? And
You talking about your husband's daughter?
no, I'm talking about my baby girl.
Yeah, the little one, the littlest one, your husband's daughter.
First of all, you're not gonna be disrespecting me like I didn't push her whole body
No, you
out of
didn't.
me. First
No,
of
you
all,
didn't.
sir, you're not gonna be disrespectful.
He just hating.
Like I didn't push her whole body out of me.
Like his son is all melanated.
So my daughter, like I said, I'm talking bright eyes. My daughter's eyes will turn gold at times, like bright brown eyes. She has blonde hair, light skin. She barely tans. Like she was in Florida all summer and barely even golded out. Like just period. Like my baby is just light. But I get so many people, oh, she's so pretty. And, she gets the ridiculous amount of compliments and, oh my God, look at her. She's gorgeous. And don't get me wrong, my baby girl is beautiful, but I really believe a lot of it is because my baby girl is society's standard of beautiful.
Right.
Like, I think my baby girl has reached what society deems beautiful, because she could be just as beautiful as a little brown skinned girl, but I don't think she would get the same amount of attention as a little brown skinned girl. But because she has all of society's standards of beautiful, the really pretty blonde hair and
The exotic look.
the bright eyes and the light skin and the dimples, and she has everything that society would deem as a beautiful person. She gets this extra attention, and it worries me because I don't want her growing up with that superficial thought in her mind that just because I have the blonde hair and the light eyes and the light skin that I'm better than anybody. I don't need her with that superficial thought. So I really want to understand this preference and bias thing just so I can explain it to my daughter in terms that you are not better than this pretty little brown skin girl because you are what society deems as beautiful.
It starts.
Yeah.
It starts with your upbringing, like and how us as parents, allow on both sides of the fence, allow our children to mix and mingle. And if we catch it and we catch some biases being developed, we nip it in the bud.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Mikey is really, really aggressive. My son is like, he's rough. He wrestles, but he is literally in a house full of girls. And so, we would wrestle and we would, rough house and this, that, and the other. But other little boys are not like that. Like he's different in some regards.
And then he gonna be a big brown skinned guy, so you don't need him having that.
Yeah, I don't need him being, flexing on the, smaller people or people that may not be as rough as him or throwing his weight around.
Because now he's the angry black man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't need that. Like people used to tell me all the time, like, dude, you look so mean and this, that, and other. Okay, I'm 6'2". I'm 256 pounds. Like, I'm not a small dude by no means. So I have to be careful even at work so people don't develop biases about me that they don't just come and talk to me. Come and have a conversation. And that's how we develop.
Well, that's funny because I deal with the same thing myself because I'm a brown skinned woman. I deal with the stigma of angry black woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get to be passionate about something. I don't get to be emotional about something. I don't get to live in that space. And it's because I'm darker skinned that I don't get to live in that space. Because quite honestly, I believe that if I was my daughter's complexion, I could break out crying in the middle of the day and they'd be, oh my God. Are you okay? But because I'm brown skinned and I'm a brown skinned chocolate girl, if I'm passionate about something or I get angry about something, I'm just this angry black woman. And that it's not fair, but it's a societal bias.
Right. Here we go.
It's always one.
It's always one.
It's always one.
I don't know if that one is so much of a bias.
About being angry?
Yeah.
But
you came in here and, lumped me up a couple of times.
Because you asked for it.
So,
because you asked for it.
But I get what you're saying. Overall, it's like I see it all the time. It's like, my sisters have to work so much harder to define themselves versus the lighter hue. Like, look at what's going on in Hollywood right now. Look at what's going on in media right now. They are literally reaching out now because that's quote unquote what's in.
So
you see what I'm saying? Black excellence right now is in.
And so, and then the blacker, the darker, the more excellent.
Balsamic, you in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's my thing about light skin, dark skin. And I think at some point in history, there was more of a struggle being dark skinned than light skinned. I don't think that's so much of the case nowadays. And I'm neither dark skinned nor light skinned. I think dark skinned ladies and people have issues, true issues that they're dealing with, that they're pushed aside because they're not lighter skinned. But I also think light skinned people deal with true issues as well. It's not the same issue, but I think too often we diminish so much of what they go through just because they're cute or whatever, and versus what just we go through.
You know what? It's so funny that you mentioned that. My husband and I were having a conversation the other day, and we actually ended up somehow in this particular type of conversation. Okay. And one of the comments that he made to me that I never even really considered, because again, keep in mind, he's light skinned, nice hair, blue eyed, but my husband's a black man. And one of the things that he mentioned to me was how most of his life he had to defend his blackness.
Right.
Like he had to go through most of his life defending
that he's
a
too.
black man. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like, he get people walking up to me like, but what you mixed with? And he like, nothing. Like, but what are you for real?
Right.
What does that even mean? I'm a black man. Like, my husband, look, black man, he a Q. His daddy a Q. And, my husband's a black guy.
Right.
And he was explaining that he spent a lot of his life and even in his adult life defending his blackness. And like I said, I was talking about my daughter. One of my nieces made a comment when my daughter was a baby, and my niece, and she was joking when she made the comment, but it's actually real. She said that she looked at my daughter, because again, my daughter was born blonde. I'm talking blonde hair, blonde eyebrows, everything. My daughter was born blonde, and then at birth, her eyes were like this really bright grayish green. And my niece looked at my daughter and said, "Oh, she don't get a pass to say the N-word."
Oh. Please.
And it was like, well, what does that mean?
Right.
Like, well, what
Like,
does that
she
mean?
ain't
Like,
black
well, she
enough.
wasn't black enough.
Yeah, and that's what they get. They're not black enough. Was black enough.
Right.
So that's why I say now in today's society, I think both sides have major issues, but too often, as brown-skinned or dark-skinned people, we still look at it as if they have it better than us.
Well, now keep in mind though, there's a flip side to that, because I've told you what my husband goes through and what my niece said about my daughter. But now I need you to see my side of it. Do you know how many times in my life growing up I've heard people be like, "Oh, you cute as heck for a dark skinned girl,"
I hate that. That was.
and I'm going, what does that even mean?
Like for me, I used to be like you know how the fellas get around and we talk. They like, "Oh, she cute, or she fine, this, that, and the other, blah blah blah." And it was always the lighter skinned ones. For me, I always held it down for my chocolate sisters. I'm like, look, that's to me, y'all missing it. To
Well,
me. And that's not to say it was anything wrong with those other women, and they was beautiful, they were cute, this, that, and the other, but I could not. For me, it was just I cringed because I hated it.
Okay, so think about guys like myself, not light skinned, not dark skinned, straight in the brown sugar mix. When you were always here. If she can't use your comb, don't bring her home, And even when I was in elementary school, I had a white and Asian girlfriend in elementary school because I have always been attracted to every type. But you can't tell everybody that you're dating every type because they got something to say about it. Right. That's what I mean by no matter who you are, what you like, what you deal with, you are always going to have issues. And granted, my issues aren't your issues. And I shouldn't downplay your issues because they're not mine, and vice versa. And I think we deal with that a lot, especially when it's white versus black.
And a lot. I know we spend a lot of time on color and stuff like that, but there's, like you said, body types. I'm a tall guy.
Right.
I've heard women literally say, if he ain't over 6 feet, I ain't talking to him. I ain't dealing with nothing short.
I know.
Absolutely.
And then if she attractive, but she like 4 feet, 4'11" or 5 foot, she like, and then she try to put on heels, or she real tall and put on heels, and you real short, y'all look uneven. It's all type of stuff that go on.
So that's another thing. So me and my husband are the exact same height, flat-footed. No shoes, no nothing. Me and my husband are the exact same height. The moment I put on any heel or wedge or anything else of that nature, I'm taller than him now.
Right.
And, that was something, again, because he and I've had this conversation, that was a bias that he had to overcome. You get the people, he too small for me. And it was, I had to learn that everything, it ain't proportional.
I know that's right.
It ain't proportional.
Shout out to short brothers 5'7" and below.
It ain't proportion.
We still can hit the flow.
It ain't proportion. It ain't proportion.
Make the room dark.
So that was like, and as I told you guys earlier, when I met my husband, I had to shift my preferences. I had to shift my preferences and shift my biases. And when I shifted my preferences and my biases, I learned a different side of things. Like I learned that, okay, Oh, that's what we doing on this. Let me go here and stay on this side.
Right. It's not that. It's good over here.
It's good. It's good over here.
Right.
I haven't really ventured off of my preference.
Of chocolates.
I haven't. I just don't see.
I try to get you to get some of these 31 flavors.
I can't, bro. Like I'm just.
It's some good ice cream out here, boy.
I found the flavors that I like.
I'm a butter pecan man. I'ma love my butter pecan.
I can't, bro. I won't. I'm honestly.
Well, I still got the little spoon, and I'm out there tasting.
You still tasting?
Sampling.
Ooh, what's that? Raspberry coconut cream. Let me get some.
Wait a minute, you got a new one this week?
Right.
Let me get that.
So I think the truth is that you just have to teeter the line on your body, on your preferences, you know, like, because what you have to realize is your preference can also hurt people's feelings.
Exactly.
When you're vocal about your preference, you can take your preference to a point where it hurts someone's feelings or, you know, make somebody feel like they're not adequate, you know, enough because now you're vocal about your preference. And you can do that unintentionally.
So
you know, you do have people out here that intentionally put people down because of their preferences.
Yeah, I do that.
Right.
Yeah,
So-
I got one preference about me that intentionally put people down, and I don't care. I'm still going to do it. And I mean, if you get put down by it, that's your own fault.
What's the preference, Ty?
My preference is when I'm out here dating, and I tell all the women this that I'm dating, I tell them up front, the first or second date, I do not do friend zone whatsoever. So if you're not feeling me, you don't want to date me, and you would prefer just being my friend, I say, okay, I respect your opinion,
But I don't need no more friends.
but I ain't talking to you ever again. Because I don't do friend zone. I don't need any more friends. I'm good.
Do you have any friends?
I got
Not a
female
one.
friends.
I'm just saying.
Not a one.
I got friends, but I'm not taking you out.
He
I'm not
he
dating
had
you.
every holiday at my house. He eat everything
What you
I
think
cook.
you are?
He at my house every week, every holiday, all my kids' birthday parties, and we ain't friends.
But see, hold on. But it's more like family at this
Right.
point. Like it's like little sis, big bro type thing.
Right. But that's my thing. I tell them I do not do friend zone. So that option from date number one is off the table. You don't have an option to put me in friend zone. Your choices is date me or leave me. That's it.
That's
Booty or no booty?
Pretty much.
That's a
hard.
bias.
That's a hard bias,
It's
Ty.
either yes or no. There is no maybe.
We need a whole show
Friend
about
zone is maybe.
Friend zone is a no zone for you.
Friend, I don't do it.
I don't think friend zone is maybe that. We're not
Friend
talking
zone-
about the friend zone this show. We're gonna have to
zone is
dive
no
into that
zone.
one a
We
little
gotta get
deeper.
into that.
But I don't necessarily
Fellas,
know
stop
if
letting
friend
these
zone
women
is no.
put you in friend zone. Because one friend zone is a lopsided relationship.
Yeah, let's do another show about that.
We're gonna have to talk about. We're gonna have to deep dive into
I
this
like
friend
that,
zone thing with
So
Ty.
that's my one bias. That some people see it as negative, some don't. That I absolutely will not change whatsoever.
Okay. My bias, and I think it's a preference, but it's possibly a bias.
Okay, shoot.
I will not, under any
Oh, I
circumstances,
think I already know what you about to say.
under any circumstances, I don't care who
Oh, I
you
know.
are, how much money you got, what you doing. I don't care. You could be Bill Gates meets Elon Musk meets the president meets. You could have all the pull out of everything. Look, I don't care who you are, what your name is, and how much money you got. If you a big dude, I ain't messing with you.
Okay.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care, sir. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care what you rolling with. I don't care if you slang into your kneecap. I don't care about none of that. If you are a big man, there's nothing I want with you.
Do you know why that is? Because I know why I'm not into big girls.
I do. I actually do know
Okay.
why. And again, I'm not trying to offend anybody. This is my preference, and I am entitled to my preference. But I actually do know. sweat freaks me out. And sweat from just the thought of a big guy
Sweating
on top
on
of me
you.
sweating completely freaks me out.
Okay.
Completely freaks me
Right.
out. So I was never able to date a bigger guy, romantically or not. Like, it was something I was never able to do because just that thought in my mind freaks me out. I'm a germaphobe. Everybody that knows me knows that about me. I am an extreme germaphobe. So sweat freaks me out anyway.
So it's not about their attractiveness or anything like that. It's just honest to God truth. Larger people have more of a propensity to sweat,
And it freaks me out.
faster than
Yep.
smaller people.
Yep, and it freaks me
and
out.
you're a germaphobe. Okay.
Yep.
So I mean, makes sense. So my thing with big girls is, I just don't have the upper body strength. You may be a germaphobe, but I mean, we got to
So, wait, hold on.
we got to be real right now.
Okay.
When we stroking and we on top, more 80% of the time we holding them legs up,
Okay.
and it takes upper body strength.
And you just don't have the upper body strength.
I don't got it.
Well, get in the gym.
I ain't
bro.
got it.
Get in the gym. Why should they suffer because you ain't doing?
They
what you
ain't
supposed to do?
suffering for not being with me, but I ain't got the upper body strength. And we all know when a lady get to that point, then they get even stronger,
Right.
and you got to be even
Now you locked
stronger
in.
to hold them up there. I ain't got it. I'm sorry.
And I don't necessarily know what
sorry.
I don't think that's a bias. I think that's just him being honest with
Yes,
his limitations.
absolutely.
Like,
Right.
I think he just really being honest with his, because mine I don't think is a bias.
It's not.
I'm
You're
a
a
germaphobe.
germaphobe. Yes.
I am an extreme germaphobe. Like,
You're not saying anything negative
no,
against big
no,
girls
it's
or
just
big
that,
guys.
It's just that I know what I can deal with. I was
Right.
at a funeral on Saturday, and it was this couple sitting next to us at the funeral, and they was talking to us, and we were engaging in conversation, and the husband kept shaking my hand, and every time he would shake my hand, I would turn towards my husband, reach in my purse, and sanitize my hand.
first of all,
and it had
it's
nothing
COVID.
to
It's COVID.
but my point is, it had nothing to do with what I thought about this man. He was a very nice person. His wife was a very nice lady. I have issues. And because I have issues, I can only go by my issues.
Right, for sure.
So that's kind of where I am with, bigger guys. Like, it's a me problem. This is not a them problem.
Right.
I'm not saying that big guys are not attractive. I'm not saying any of that. This is a me problem.
Right.
And because
Same
I've
thing.
established that
It's-
it's a me problem, this ain't got nothing to do with y'all. So I don't want to, you can't boycott me. You can't say I'm being biased.
Right.
You can't say I'm discriminating. No, I'm admitting that Robin has a problem.
Right. I don't.
It's the same
I
thing
don't
for
know-
me. Ty got a problem.
Yeah, I don't know if mine fits into a me problem when it's just like I just prefer my brown to dark skinned sisters that look a certain kind of way. Like, it's like there's nothing that makes me be like, oh, let me go holler at her or let me go talk to her. Like, I will look past that. So what could you say? Is that an issue? Is that a problem? Am I
No, that's
No,
that's
you-
a,
that's
that's
just
just
what you
that's your
attracted to.
preference. That's just
Yeah,
a preference.
you just attracted
not like
to.
that I won't treat them the same.
No,
way.
that's
How
just
you
your
doing?
preference.
Right.
We can laugh, we can joke. So how do you handle when what's against your preference approach you because you may be their preference? You see what I'm saying? Like,
Well,
how do you handle
The
that?
same way women handle us.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
Yeah. I
It's
said
just-
I got a woman.
I don't think you have to do all of that.
I
that's-
got a girlfriend.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's,
I'm not. Literally, I'm not. And we
Or
need to have a show
you
about that.
Do
Yeah.
what they do to us. We treat them nice. Say thank you for the drinks that they buy you. Take their number. Don't give them yours.
And never
don't call.
You know what? But I really think we need to have a show talking about curving. And the reason, and I'm calling it curving because for whatever reason, you can't just say no to people no more. Like, and I don't understand. That is weird. Like,
Yeah,
this,
we need to have a show. About
We
that,
need to
'cause I
have
got
a-
some
'cause
stu-
I-
I got some stuff to say about
it
that.
is
too, yeah.
really weird that you just can't be like, I'm not interested no more. Like,
Right.
why is that offensive now? Like,
Yeah.
why can I not? Why
Because of
why
these
can't I not be
preferences-
interested?
Because of these preferences, and I'm gonna give you another one. And this may be, I don't know. We have to tap into this. There's women that prefer a man with a certain status as far as their bank account and what they got going on, this, that, and other. And no matter what, whether you light skinned, brown skinned, in the middle, dark skinned, I'm not dating you because you just can't afford me. Like, what? That's a bias to me. Like,
That's their preference.
it's like,
That's what they
it's like-
attracted
it's-
to.
I'm
That's
just
me,
saying-
though.
I'm just saying though.
That's
but what
me,
if he
though.
on the come up?
I am
though?
so guilty of that.
But it's not
What do
there.
you have to look like though?
Oh.
You don't know. He could
See,
be looking like a bum, but have.
Let me tell
But
you.
it's the
Bunch of
same
money.
God
thing.
really blessed me because God gave me, slid into my preferences and gave me a little bit of everything. Like, because my preferences were so deep, like you had to have a certain amount of money, like you had to look a certain way, like, you know, and I think that's why a lot of women are single now. And I'm gonna just say it. Like, I think that's why a lot of women are single and struggling right now, because they need to take them lists that they got and throw them the heck away. Because y'all out here with these irrational, unreasonable list of all of this stuff you want in a man, and heifer, who you trying to get it from at 45 years old? You are not the hot chick in the club no more. You are not the pick of the litter no more, and you need to bring some of that down a bit. But I digress.
Okay,
it's time
so
for us to do our final thought.
Okay. So look, let me say this. I'll go first. I'm glad you said that because age can be a bias too, or a preference too.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
We get it worse than y'all.
Yeah, like I may want a younger, more fun, active, outgoing woman, but I'm 44 years old, and the women that's my age, they just want to sit up and watch Oprah and do
We
certain.
ain't watching no Oprah.
Well, you're not 44 though, Robin.
But we ain't watching no Oprah.
Well, whoever. They want to watch reality TV shows out there.
I don't watch that crap either.
He interrupted his final thoughts. That's rude.
No, I'm just saying, like, I may prefer that, but because I'm 44, somebody might look at me and be like, oh, look at him with that young woman. He couldn't get nobody his own age. Well, listen, that might be what I prefer.
You know what? So first of all, wait, because I want to put this comment out there, and it's not showing up on our VMix, so I'm gonna just read it.
Okay.
We got a comment from Jason, and it says, "I wanted a dark skinned woman because I wanted dark skinned kids." And that's another very interesting one, because I didn't want a dark skinned man because I didn't want dark skinned kids.
But okay, so
And the reason
we need a
was,
part
wait a
two.
minute, and the reason was because I had spent all of my life hearing, you're cute for a dark-skinned girl. And I didn't want my daughter to have to deal with what I dealt with in the you're cute for a dark-skinned girl. But that's a whole nother show. That's a whole nother level.
Okay, so
but it's just interesting that I saw that comment
right.
because mine was actually just the opposite.
Right. Only thing I was gonna say on that, and we can move on, is because like in my house there was different shades, different hair textures, and we actually sat down and dealt with that. Like, I feel like we should promote you're beautiful in whatever skin you're in.
Right.
And we should definitely do that with our children, because it is hard. Like, you know how our generation went through a lot. People be like, oh, dude, you got a big nose. Well, my daddy had a big nose.
Right.
Bubble eye, big nose, big teeth, big smile. When I look in the mirror, I'll be like, you can't change that. Work with what you got. And if you don't like me for who I am as a person, as Mike Jones, then you wasn't the person for me to begin with.
Right.
So it starts there. Like, I know my son, same thing. He looks the spitting image of me and my dad. He ain't the hot fly boy, this, that, and that, but he got other qualities that will make him shine. I could talk to anybody, and that's probably one of my gifts. I can have a conversation. I ain't got to be Rico Suave, and I learned that a long time ago. So I'm not that person that's just all caught up in the looks and this, that, and the other. Like, treat me as a person. If I'm not your preference, just say, hey, you know, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. I'm cool with that. I can take that. I'm a big boy. I could take that. And you just ain't my cup of tea, blah, blah, blah. We can still be cool. All right, cool, blah, blah. I know how to treat you. I know how to stop coming at you like a certain way. And we can move on, be friends, this, that, and the other. But don't try to use me for whatever resources you think I have. Just be up front, like to Todd's point, like be up front and be like, nah, I ain't really feeling you like that. And I think a lot of times we'll get, you know, further ahead as a people and how to treat each other, because God made everybody beautiful.
Oh, absolutely.
God made everybody beautiful in his own image. We can't help how we was created. But don't be out here at one thing and you about to grab a 10.
Right.
Ty.
Well, okay, so God made everybody a beautiful, but not everybody is a 10. Okay. some beautiful ones.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing. Because just think about it, if everybody was a 10, everybody be on their high horse. Like you can't.
Right.
I'm the best thing since like.
I'm 10 plus 1.
Right.
Right. But go ahead.
Okay, so here's my thing. So just hear me out. Just hear me out.
Lord Jesus, help us.
Help us.
So I agree with what we all say here tonight, but my one thing is that you have definitely a right to your preferences and what you like and who you want to date, so forth and so beyond. But every now and again, just try something outside of your preference, because
I agree.
You don't know whether you will like it or not if you've never even tried it whatsoever. And so everybody know that, well, everybody now know that I'm not into big girls, just not. But
because you don't have the upper body strength.
Right. But I've tried a few big girls, you know, and I was surprised to learn that there is some good circle out there.
I knew this was gonna go bad.
With them big
We
girls.
can't take him nowhere.
I'm just being honest out there. There is some cute big girls with some good circle, and I can see why a lot of guys are into it. But for me, I just don't have that upper body strength to be able to last. Physically last in that race. Yes, I know what my
you
class
fighting in your weight
is.
class.
Yes, but I still had to go out and try it just to see, you know, if I would actually like it or
I can
not.
see that. I'm 254. I don't need nothing small frame and little. I'd be the hurt.
Right. But that's my thing. So have your preferences and everything, but every now and again, go out and try something outside your preferences. You like only tall dudes? Try a short brother every now and again. You like only chocolate women? Try light bright. You like only light brights? Try extra chocolate. You like cute girls?
And we're going to move on to my final thought now.
Go ahead, Robin.
So for me, I think that it's okay to have your preference. Everybody has a preference. Even the people that like to act like I don't see this and I don't see that and I'm just deaf, dumb, and blind and all I feel is energy, and you know, like, though, first of all, those type of people annoy me because they're not living in a real world. They've created this delusion for themselves that they think that if they say that, it sounds good to say. Mm-hmm. And it's basically a lie, because the truth of the matter is we all have a preference. We all have preferences. And even if your preference isn't in dating, you have a preference in the type of clothes that you want to wear. You have a preference in the way you get your hair cut or the color you want to dye your hair and where you want to work. Everybody has preferences, and it is okay. Your preferences are what makes you an individual. It's what sets you apart from everybody else. It is okay to have preferences. One of the things that has really become irritating to me is people downing people for their preferences. It is okay to like what you like and want to be what you want to be or want to operate how you want to operate. As long as you're not disrespecting anybody, as long as you're not hurting anybody, as long as you're not maliciously trying to hurt anybody's feelings or make anybody feel inferior to you or anything like that, then your preference is fine. Let it be what it is. I have my preferences. I'm not out here disrespecting anybody because of my preferences. Like I said, one of my big preferences is it has nothing to do with anybody else. I know some really nice looking big guys. I know some fine big guys. It's a me problem. It's not a them problem. It's a me problem. And I've established that it's a me problem, and that's okay. Like, I'm not putting it off at them. I'm not turning my nose up at them. I'm not running around looking like, oh, you look like you sweat burgers. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying no crap like that. Like, I'm not disrespecting anyone. It's my preference because it's my issue that I am dealing with. So, and at this point, I'm married, and I married my husband for better or worse. So at the end of the day, if something happened and my husband became a big guy, guess what? I'ma love that big dude. You know what I'm saying? Because I married that man, and now I am invested in that man and who that man is, and the father of my children and my life mate and everything else. So this is not a me being disrespectful or being biased towards anybody. This is just how Robin feels. And I think one of the problems that we have have in society is that people are not free to feel how they feel because everybody's so busy being offended for the sake of freaking being offended.
We canceling everybody
For
just to
everything.
cancel. Right.
People just offended for the sake of being offended. And I'm so sick of the spirit of offense. I don't know what to do. And I cancel that spirit. I cancel that assignment because I'm tired of it. Amen. So
So if your husband ever get big, I can see you in a hazmat suit. I'm ready now, Daddy.
There's something wrong with this guy. He's cut off. He is cut off.
okay.
He is cut off. He is cut off. He is cut off. He is cut off. It wouldn't be a show if it wasn't that.
Give it to me.
Listen,
I don't even know why we keep him up here.
right. Taste the black spirits.
So
We got any comments?
my husband is in the comments and it say, really? I am going to stop working out and blow up like an Alabama tick.
You gotta love him, Robin. You gotta love
And I
him.
will. And I will.
Right.
So listen, great show. I'm so
the
glad
part
we were
two.
able to finish this topic today. I see we got a lot of spin-off topics that we're going to go into off of this one because we just got some things we need to discuss on this thing here. But y'all, biggest thing, don't forget the Taste of Black Spirits event coming up this Friday. One of the things that I love about the September Taste of Black Spirits event is it coincides with El Boogie's birthday. too.
And fall. Like it's just
Yes,
like
and
this
we get to
whole-
be fly, and
Ugh.
I'm not sure why our monitor just went off, but anyway, we get to be fly
Probably the battery.
and just have a good time, and so I'm expecting to see everybody in the building this coming Friday at the Garden Theater, the Taste of Black Spirits event, September the 30th, 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. Make sure y'all get y'all tickets on Eventbrite. Follow Black Spirits Legacy on Instagram. All the links is in the bio where you can get your tickets. So make sure y'all are at that event this coming Friday. Y'all see some of the brands that will be at this event, plus many, many more. And your favorite podcast will be in the building, JOO. So
Right.
if you don't come for
Award-winning.
nothing else, make sure y'all come to hang out with the award-winning JOO podcast. It is what it is.
Yep.
So we look forward to seeing everybody. Man, we thank y'all for kicking it with us tonight. We thank y'all for rolling with us. We will see y'all this coming Friday, and we're gonna do a live show. We doing live this Friday, y'all.
I believe so.
We're gonna do a special live show at the
Let's do
Taste
it.
of Black Spirits
Let's do it.
event this coming Friday. So if you can't make it to the event, just at least make sure you on the live and make sure you're kicking it with us live so y'all can check out the event and live vicariously through us. So we will see y'all this coming Friday. Thank y'all for kicking it with us tonight. This has been Just Our Opinion with Robin.
Mike.
And Ty.
Deuces.
Peace.